Hi guys, thank you for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate the love and the support. Please like, please share, please comment. Thank you. Today we'll be working with a Ghana fabric, the Ghana patterned fabric. We'll be making a simple skirt. This is our first video, so we just want to have an introductory class on how to make a simple skirt. The measurements you need is just length, waist and hip. That's all you need in making a simple skirt. The first process is to spread out your material on the table, and then you need to fold it into two parts. You fold your material into two parts. Make sure it's properly folded into two parts. This represents the front and the back. The next thing you need to do is to fold your material again. Those two parts you fold it again. So you're going to be having 4 parts. But you're not going to fold it into two. This time, at the second time of folding, you're going to fold this, leaving an allowance for zip and slit and a slit. So you can see what I did there is folded into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I repeat, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you smooth it out, place it very well. You give an allowance. That allowance left is a 2-inch allowance for your zip and for your slit. It's a 2-inch allowance for your zip and your slit. So I'm just ironing it out to make it neat. After ironing, we'll take our length measurement, which is 21 inches. Place the tape on your fabric. I don't like starting I don't like that part of the cloth showing when I'm sewing. That's why I'm starting from there. So you take the measurement 21 inches and then you give the 2-inch allowance, which makes it 23 inches. So where I started from, you can decide to start from the end of the cloth since you're already going to give it 2 inches allowance. It's just, personally, I don't like starting from there. So I'm just going to mark out. I'm going to mark out the length all through. Now, for a beginner and someone who have zero knowledge about sewing, it's better you use a ruler so that you can get a straight line. So I'm just going to highlight the line drawn. This is to make it visible. And then this is the length of the skirt, a 21-inch length plus 2 inches allowance. So I'm going to cut out the excess fabric we do not need for making the skirt. Remember, the material is folded into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're cutting out the excess fabric. So after cutting it out, this is all we need to make a 21-inch length skirt. This is the zip allowance. This is the front of the skirt. This is the front of the skirt. That's the back of the skirt. We're not going to make use of taking our waist size. Our waist size is 32. So in order for you to see what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip it to the other side just so that you know what I'm doing. So I'm going to flip it and take the waist measurement. The waist measurement I'm using is 32 inches. So we're going to be starting from the front part, the part I call the front of the skirt. That part is zipper. This is the front of the skirt. We're going to start from there to take the measurement. So 32 divided by 4 is 8. 32 divided by 4 is 8. We're dividing by 4 because we folded the fabric into 4. So we're just going to mark it there. 32 divided by 4 is 8 plus 2 inches allowance, which makes it 10. 32 divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance makes it 10. So I'm just going to mark it. From the waist, I take 6 inches. I mark 6 inches just so that I can get the part where I would start my hip measurement. I repeat, I mark 6 inches just so that I can get the part I get my hip measurement. Some people use 7, some people use 8, some people use 10. Just depend on what you like. I prefer starting with 6. I prefer starting with 6 so I can get that curve that I'm looking for. So for the hip measurement, I'm starting from the front, that part I call the front, that part. I'm starting from there. And the hip size is 42. So 42 divided by 4 gives 10 and a half. 42 divided by 4 gives 10 and a half. So I'm just going to start from there, mark it, and then give a 2-inch allowance. I made sure that I use every part of the fabric. Give a 2-inch allowance. Make sure I use every part of the fabric. So you can see I'm just tracing it out. to get that hip, that figure, that shape I'm looking for. After tracing it out, I'm just going to go to the nail part of the skirt, that's the down part of the skirt. I'm looking for that pencil shape. So I'm going to use the same measurement I used for the waist, which was 10 inches, 8 inches plus 2 inches allowance. And then I'm going to trace out. It's best you have a ruler. For a beginner, your hand may not be straight, so you just want to have a ruler so that you can mark it out correctly. So this is me, I'm highlighting it so that I can see where I'm going to cut out from. So get your scissors to trace out. Remember, that is the waist, this is the hip, and then we have the length of the skirt. We just need waist, hip, and length of the skirt to make a simple skirt. So trace it out with your scissors, follow the line, be careful so you don't make a mistake. And that is it. There you have it. This is your skirt. So I'm going to turn it just so you can see it. This is the skirt after cutting. So you can open it up now. This is the front of the skirt. This is the front of the skirt. You can see the curve. And then this is the back of the skirt. Opening it up, you see that it's two separate pieces. This is because it will be joined back together with a zip and it will be closed, then to have a slit. So after this, we'll be cutting the lining. This is just very simple and very basic. You have to place the fabric on the lining and just cut out, follow the pattern. You can see what I'm doing here. I place the fabric on the lining. I opened it up just so that it's easier for you as a beginner to cut it out. Normally, if someone who's experienced wants to cut it out, we'll leave it closed and cut out the shape. But just so that as a beginner, you need to, you want to know the basics. So just place it on top, facing the back. Make sure it's facing the back. You can see the back is what is facing the lining. So the front is inside out. So you're just going to cut out, follow the shape, cut it out. Follow the shape, cut it out carefully. You can pin down so that your fabric doesn't move. You can pick and say I'm pinning down. You can pin it down so that your material isn't moving about. So this is it. So I cut it from the back. So we'll be sewing the back and then turning it upside down. There will be another video showing you how to do this. This is also doing the same thing for the back of the skirt. There will be a video to show you how you can sew the skirt, joining everything together. Then in this part, I'm cutting the band. So I don't really like a very big band. I like my band very small, very, very small. So this is just the band. So you'll be fixing the band to the skirt. This is where it will be. This is the band of the skirt. You'll be fixing it to the waistline of the skirt. So it depends on how you like yours. Some people like theirs to be very wide band, depending on the style you're sewing. Whereas for this particular clothes, I wanted the band to be just 1 inch. So you'll be fixing it to the skirt. There will be another video showing you how you can join all this together. But this is how you cut your simple skirt. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I really love you guys. I appreciate it all. Please subscribe. Please share the video. Thank you.